the Agentic engineering workbook, or no, this is a picture book for Agentic engineering for dummies, is like the best way. I can't say that legally because it's copyright for dummies, whole thing, but this is written on a 4th grade level so that we can learn how to build teams of agents to ship massive amounts of code behind the scenes. So these are some very, very, very advanced topics written and broken down on a 4th grade level so that you have the vocabulary and the mental model to understand, because none of us are ever going to be developers. Let's be honest. I'm not going to be a developer. However, I want to build apps that make a few money. That's my game. I build CRMs. We build ops trackers. We're going after multi-billion-dollar industries we're disrupting those industries, as you guys would say, with AI, because we're literally taking market share by replacing Go High Level and industry-specific CRMs. I write these picture books on a 4th grade level because I need to understand these advanced topics, like how to build an orchestrator, how to manage different sub-agents and workers across different work trees, how to build a monitor agent. Actually, this is actually much better if I actually just show you guys. You need to build the orchestrators, because we are never going to be software engineers, but we need to build teams of AI agents that do massive amounts of work without our involvement. That is the game. And so from here, you've got the orchestrator, and then you have your workers and work trees. Why is that important? So that your workers do not interfere, because if they interfere and cook the same steak, then no steaks get served to your customers and you ship no value. Then you need a monitor. You need someone to monitor each of the statuses across each of the chefs. One is chopping the vegetables, one is cooking the soup, one is baking the dessert, and you need an orchestrator to make sure all of the agents are working simultaneously, so that your kitchen could produce. And this is how I learn AI. This is literally, I'm making AI so easy on a 4th grade level so that anyone, kids or adults, can understand these very advanced AI concepts. Then it talks about scoping the backlog so that you can ship small improvements, because right now a lot of people are building and they're wasting tokens and it's getting bugs, and you're like, when does the app get built? When do I actually get to use and monetize this? I seem to be in a never-ending bug fixing mode, and I get it. And that's why we need a scope and a backlog and a manager. And then it keeps going, and then, oh my gosh, you will encounter permission modes. Everyone type dangerous in the chat. Type dangerous in the chat right now, because you guys should be working with AI on dangerous mode, on YOLO mode, because dangerous mode, YOLO mode, gets them working. Thank you, user44, dangerous. Thank you, D2Nice says dangerous. Thank you, Sam, for typing dangerous. You're training the algorithm to go find other AI entrepreneurs that want to make a few money with it. And so here we need, when you pass work to your agent, you don't want to babysit cowork and say, hey, cowork, you know how cowork has to ask for permission, and then you know how VS Code also has to ask for permission. Oh, I love smiley face. There we go. Mimo says dangerous. And so you need to know, when you work with different models, Claude, Codex, Gemini, those are like the main ones, how to start a conversation with them in dangerous mode so that the permission, they can just go and do the work and they don't bother you. God, I wish like vibe coding was like this. Is like so awesome. And then you need test and gates. This is probably one of the biggest bottlenecks in shipping code, because when you ship code or you cook a steak like in your restaurant, you need to have an inspector to come in and check to make sure what you cooked, it was actually on the ingredient or actually on the receipt. Because Claude will build, or some of the models, they will build bad code. That is actually a common thing. They're not infallible. They don't just write perfect code all the time. They ship features that don't work, and that is actually a common. They're just like junior developers basically. And so when it gets to the gate, where the tests are, and that's where you test to make sure, hey, we ship this app and the users have to fill out a form. And so from there, you're making sure that all forms can get filled out when you ship a new update, because that would suck if you shipped an update and now users can't fill out the form. Defeats the purpose, right? So that's why you need tests and gates, and this takes the longest time to make sure what your little workers or sub-agents build, they're fixing bugs, adding new features, that there actually isn't any bugs. And then we also, Scratch databases. That's actually a fun. These are all technical challenges that I had to face and overcome and learn about it the hard way. That's really how all of these chapters were literally like, John did not learn about merging and integrations correctly, and so he was shipping code, but none of it was merging. None of it was getting pushed to production. We were building, but we weren't shipping, and so sometimes we get hundreds of commit. I know all the engineers are cringing right now. Hundreds of commits behind. Oh my God. Yeah. A junior employee, like junior vibe coder, basically. Elliot's in the chat. Elliot approves of this vibe coding for beginners book. Imagine if CS, like computer science was like this, I would for sure get an A+. Like if I go back to college and like, I would have so much fun. Like this is literally how I use AI because when I build with AI, I learn technical lessons too. And I'm like, oh, I did something wrong. Hey, Claude, Codex, teach me what I did wrong and teach me how to become a better agentic engineer. And so he's going to tell you about teardowns. And teardowns are basically when you launch basically different sessions and different conversations. Don't leave them running, surprisingly, is a thing, because you need to clean up your desk so that it runs the command and then it pulls it, because sometimes when you run separate conversations, sometimes they could get blocked. You could run out of tokens halfway through and you have to go log in, log out and get a new token or you have to get a new Claude or ChatGPT subscription because you maxed out the usage of one. Very common. I have 4 Codex subscriptions and I have 4 Claude paid subscriptions, and then now I'm switching over to OpenRouter, which is going to be because the subscriptions have the limitations, and that limitation, it's really the downtime that's costs you the most when you're not shipping or building. That downtime is actually the most costliest to your business. So that's why when you start building these apps and maintaining these apps, you got to be shipping continuous updates and building a pipeline so that when they build new features, they can clean up their workspace and also saves memory on your computer, which is big. Elliot in the chat says you only have Claude Code subscriptions, then you aren't building for clients. That's true. If you only have a Claude Code subscription, then you are not building for clients. Retro and learning loops. Oh, that's interesting. Hey, at the very end of the night, we built a lot of things. Wouldn't it be nice if we actually did a retrospective and actually looked back at what we built and see if we could learn some things and say, hey, can we improve on some things? Do we need to remember some things and say, don't do this again? What worked well, let's keep doing that. What didn't work well, let's stop doing that. Is a big thing. This is why I love picture books. Oh, look at this picture. Oh, because this is the holy grail. This is what you're trying to build. Parallelism in hardware. Your boy had to get a brand new Mac, 128 gigabyte RAM. The other one's in another computer. So we went from 16 gigs to 128 gigabytes of RAM and the M5 so that we could get into parallelism in hardware. I did look at like VPSs and stuff like that. It was like a pain in the butt to like set up. And so I was like, let me just get my own local. Everyone's going to have their own local server, your own local computer, and you're going to deck that out. I love this picture because this is what you're trying to build. You're trying to build the infrastructure. The app factory is what you're trying to build in Herder with multiple agents so that when you can ship massive amounts of code continuously is a big thing. That is the future. This is where AI is going. And then what's the definition of shipped? What does done mean? So that when you actually build with the roadmap, you can actually know where you're actually going to. There's like so much. So this is just one of 3 book series. There's 3 books in this series. This is basically how to work with agents, agentic engineering for beginners. That's what this book is. And then we have the other one. That's the vibe coding one. I'll show you guys the vibe. There's the vibe coding for beginners. I don't know if you guys, when did this get written? It's a whole thing. I got to date these, which is a whole different thing. So this is the vibe coding for beginners. picture book, and this one goes through real fun, basically how to replace your website and vibe code. This was like the old picture books. Like, man, even my picture books are getting better because these were the old ones. And they go through very simple. This was basically the old way of coding is no longer needed, so that we can now go to the new way of vibe coding, where you just talk to your data. Man, this was written back when we were just doing one agent. Isn't that crazy? Now we have multiple agents doing multiple things, and we had to move from that to the factories. But the concepts were there. Like, you could see how these concepts evolve. This was great because basically the whole game of building an app is like pretty much building a restaurant is like the main thing. You're trying to build a restaurant so that if you could build a restaurant, you could build an app. The same components, the building, the ingredients, the waiters, the chefs in the background. And this is a fun little thing. Basically, this one teaches you how to vibe code your website so that you can replace your website with it. You did it. And then there's another book. Then there's Company of One. This one's my favorite. This is a really good book. AI Company of One. I really got to date these because, like, can you see info of like when this was created? File details. Created on April 13th. Okay, so that's not even that long. April, May, June, July, August. So like 5 months ago. That's 5 years in AI. This is 5 years old, because every month in AI is like a year. Like, oh my God, that's 5. No wonder this is so outdated. But you can see how we were progressing. We were going from vibe coding to building agents. Like, that was always the concept. But then it's like, how do you build a digital workforce is like the game. Because the people that are doing things manually, you're logging into every tab, every website, pressing every button manually. Now what we want is agents. And so how do you build AI agents to manage your content, manage your calendar, man, this was before Hermes kind of thing. Like, when I wrote this, like, these are like super fun. And then the old way is you doing all the jobs manually. I don't want you to do all the jobs manually and all the tasks. That will lead to burnout. That will burn out all of your good energy. Instead, we want to delegate to agents. This is actually book 3 of a 3-book series. We had vibe coding for dummies. We also had Company of One, how to build a company of just AI agents. This is book 3 in my book series. If you're on my email list, you can get this series books. So definitely join my email list to get these picture books so that you can learn these advanced topics. Also, they will come with audiobooks too. So all my picture books will also come with audiobooks, because I know you guys are readers are leaders. And so